This is video number 22 for the Book 2 series, and this is for violin players only. I need you to be open to page number 14. We're going to have one quick little song to learn, and then we're going to learn to play a new kind of G sharp over on the E string. So look at number 61. Now, you're getting to skip 57 through 60. If you look at that, that's all just complete review. There is nothing new on page 14 for you. However, I don't want to skip number 61. The other ones, what's happening is the violas and the cello players, they are learning to play a high 3 or extension on their C string. You don't have a C string, so you have to just review. So I'm not going to make you play Let's Read F sharp, okay? Because there's no real, if you want to play it on your own, great. But we are going to just skip all the way down to 61. And this is just, there's nothing brand new here. This is D major, there's slurs, there's some little string crossing things, but there's no high 3s, nothing, this is all like review stuff, okay? If it looks easy, it's because it kind of is. Shadow bow it from the beginning, 61, and 1, 2, shadow bow, go. Make a tunnel, keep that G down, the independent fingers here. Now, if that sounded familiar, yes, I believe it was called Oak Hollow in book 1. It was like number 138. I think it was something like that in your book. It's just in a different key. Okay, it's actually an easier key now for you. Okay, play now with me. 61 and 1, 2, 61 and go. Just move the 1 over, independent fingers here. Now aim that 4. Make a tunnel. 1 take, 2 take, 3 take, 4 take, off. If you thought that was easy, that's good, because it should have been, really. It should have been. I just didn't want you to totally skip it. Okay, now we're going to learn our new thing. And now we're going to learn G sharp on the E string. It's actually going to be fairly easy to do because it's just second finger right on the tape. Because when we learned G, when we learned to play on the E string, you only learned G natural. You only learned low 2. Now we're going to learn high 2. So high 2 on the E string is G sharp. What key uses this note? The only key that we know of right now is A major. There's actually a bunch of other keys that use this note, but right now the only key we know of is A major. And you're thinking, well, D major has high 2s. D major does have high 2, but not on the E string. It absolutely does not on the E string. Don't play high 2 on the E string when you're in D major, because D major only has 2 sharps. The only key we know right now to use high 2 on the E is A major, because it has F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. So this is the G sharp on the E string. You already learned the G sharp on the D string. Remember, when you're in a key signature, there's sharps all over the instrument. All of the Fs are sharp, all of the Cs are sharp, and all of the Gs are sharp. That one sharp for G sharp represents this G sharp and this G sharp on the E string. Okay, so let's just do a little bit of echoing. Have your tuner on. Play 4 G sharps on the E string, just a high 2. The reason people tend to play out of tune on the E string is they do this with their wrist. Remember, make sure your elbow's coming around. The other thing is you want to be like maybe 2 millimeters higher. See, I'm still on the tape, but I'm maybe slightly higher than I normally would be. Play 4 G sharps in the E string, echo me. And go, G sharp, 2, 3, 4. Now if you sounded really gross and scratchy, remember in the E string we use a very fast, light bow. We haven't played the E string in a while. Do 2 G sharps and 2 A's, 3 fingers for A. G sharp, A, A. Now 2 F sharps, 2 G sharps. F sharp, G sharp, G sharp. Now, I don't think we need to shadow bow 62. Let's just play it. Now, let's read G sharp. They chose already to use the key signature. So there's not a sharp sign next to it. Doesn't need to be because the key signature has 3 sharps, F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. That makes your very first note a high 2 on the E string. Okay, 62, G sharps. 1, 2, play with me, G sharp, and go. High 2. sharp, A, forte, forte, off. If you need to stop and review your E string notes, you might want to do that. If you were totally lost on that, I just kind of made the assumption that you still know how to read your E string notes. We haven't played them in a while, so if you need to stop and review that, please do so. Okay, go on to 63, and I do want you actually to shadow bow this, because if you don't, I have a feeling you're going to mess up at the end of the first line. Okay, shadow bow 63, 1, 2, shadow bow, go. A, now B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, G sharp, F sharp, C sharp, forte, off. Now I know you're already thinking, I just learned the A major scale and that wasn't it. It started over on the G string. This is the higher octave, okay? They're not necessarily two different scales. One just starts lower. It's the lower octave, okay? So you now could potentially play a 2-octave A major scale. Just like you had the G major scale that started on open G, and then you had the one that started on the D string and went to the E string. This is the same kind of concept. There's the lower one, which is more difficult, and that's the one I want you practicing, not this easy thing. This easy thing is just like D major, and the old G major that starts on an open string, goes open 1, 2, 3, open 1, 2, 3, everything's on the tape, everybody's happy, it's all easy. That we're gonna play it here, and then every time I have you practicing A major, it's gonna be the harder one that has the high threes. Okay, play now with me, 63, and 1, 2, red, say, and go. Then D, E, F sharp, G sharp, G sharp, F sharp, C sharp. Now 2 counts, 3, forte, off. Okay? So again, that is the A major scale. The other one's also A major scale, just different octaves. The lower one's more difficult. That's what you should be practicing. Okay. Now, just like you know how the 63, this scale, this easier A major scale was just like the D major scale. Well, this easier A major arpeggio is going to be just like the D major arpeggio, just 1 string higher. Go ahead and shadow bow it though. 64. Look at your key signature. A major. F sharp, C sharps, G sharps. 1 take, 2 take, shadow bow, go. C sharp, open E. Make every at the end. 3 take, 4 take, off. Easy enough. Play it with me now. 1 take, 2 take, right take, and go. So do practice those, even though those 3 are pretty easy, 62, 63, 64, just so you can get more practice with the E string, because that is going to be coming up in some future videos. I don't want you to totally forget how to read on the E string, okay? Also practice these, because the next 2 videos, the next 2 songs, the next video that has 65 and 66, there are going to be a lot of E string stuff on that as well.